Hey guys, welcome back for another 700cc swap Grom update. So I got my wheel back from the machine shop. He took him a minute to set up, but he got it clearance for the bearings, so I just need to put the bearings in it. Got the tire installed, and this time it's on the other side, but I made sure they lined up the yellow dot with the valve stem. Last time I had the kind of KD1s mounted, they forgot to do that. So hopefully that's a little bit more balanced and it'll be even smoother, going a little bit faster than 65, 70 miles an hour. And then the last thing that I picked up from the machine shop, this was just some aluminum stock I bought, but I have my spacer to go in between the wheel bearings on the hubs, or I'm sorry, on the wheel side. We just made this out of steel for now, because I didn't want to cut it out of aluminum and it not be right. So this is kind of the test piece, and then we'll take and maybe cut it out of the aluminum, just a little bit lighter. But anyhow, then I got my two hub spacer and spacer for between the swing arm and the actual hub. So got those made, and the last thing I asked him to do was just drill out the brake caliper mount to 20 mil. I'm not sure if it's exactly centered, but this is basically just to test if we could potentially run the rear brake at the 6-inch setting. So might not be running with that at all. And I think ultimately right now, just for testing and to get it going, I think I'm just gonna go straight to the 10-inch and make my own little spacer that's as wide as this, or take the aluminum to the machine shop again. But I'll probably just make my own on that, and then when we go back to get that made out of aluminum, I'll get that made out of aluminum as well. So got all the bearings, we're good to go. And then the last couple things I'm gonna do is, I'm not sure if I updated it here, but I'm doing the front brake, doing the braided line. I got a, what is it, P32 front Brembo front caliper from Grom. I got my X-ring chain. I did not go with the drag chain. I just wanted something that was not going to be too much maintenance, because I don't think if we snap the chain on this, I'm gonna be super impressed. But I don't think I need like a $200 to $300 race chain, because I'm gonna do a lot of driving on the street with this. So, and then lastly is just the front sprocket and the rear sprocket. So I'm gonna get cracking on this. The biggest thing right now is to get the wheel on and get everything kind of set up there. Make sure everything on the wheel side is good. And then I'm gonna drop it down, get some measurements for what I'm doing on the rear tank, if I'm gonna cut the scallop out, or if I'm just gonna kind of try to make this a little bit more tilted forward so it's not leaned back, and keep it at the stock height. I'm not sure yet. I would like to keep it at the stock height, but few people were saying that it's gonna sit up too high in the back and that, you know, it's not gonna look great. I kind of like this one sitting up high, I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, so we get it down on the ground, figure out the tank, take some measurements, and then I'll probably take all this apart again, because there's bound to be a little bit of trimming and adjustments to be made on the spacer side. But that's gonna give us an idea. The chain, I'm hoping will fit. That's 150 link chain. So yeah, it's coming along though. I could get this all together, use the MT-07 axle, which I think I am gonna do that, but I can't get it all together and do a test drive this weekend because I'm still waiting on figuring out the tank, and I'm still waiting for tank sealer. So still need to seal those. That takes 4 to 5 days. So it's not gonna be back together this week, potentially next weekend, we'll see. But yeah, here we go. Okay guys, got the wheel and hub all put together, all the spacers in. I think it's gonna work out just fine. Our steel spacer actually did fit, didn't have to do any adjustments on there. Yeah, I did make the spacer in between the actual push drive hub and the wheel, and I'm really glad that I had the machine shop make me the other two, because that was a little funky trying to get like a clean cut on aluminum. But everything's together. I'm just gonna test fit it with the brake bracket, and I've got the other spacer that goes on this side. So I'm gonna test that out. I might have to make some adjustments on that spacer and figure out if the brake bracket's gonna work or not. I mean, right now we don't even have the channel that the front of the caliper mount sits into, so I think I'm gonna go to a different angle, a little bit more on the back, and try to get this thing in. And I am just test fitting it with the MT-07 axle. I think I've already said that, but yeah, hopefully we can get it on the ground and get it outside. I'm running out of daylight though. All right, let me get you guys set back up, and then we'll take a look. And that went actually smoother than I anticipated. It does look a little funny with the MT-07 axle. I got two spacers because it's a little too long, and I don't know how I forgot about this, but I need to make a spacer. I guess because I'm gonna just make one solid one and not run this at the 12. But if I do run this bracket or the brake, I'm gonna have to make a little spacer between this and the bearing. So no big deal. It does actually fit, and it's looking like I will be able to run it with that little channel that they sent. So that's kind of cool. And the other side actually turned out perfect. I haven't tossed the chain on yet to see if it's aligned, but I think it's got to be pretty close, because that spacer was down to 10 thousandths of the other one. So it's got to be pretty dang close. I'm gonna try my best to get this outside before it completely goes dark. So here we go. Barely made it, and it is getting a little dark. There it is, guys.